Hey my friends, Gabriel here. We help gym owners to scale 7 figures, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna teach you anything on this video, but I'm gonna teach you how you can improve lead quality because that's one thing that I've really been solving for a lot of guys and a lot of gym owners. Whenever I get on calls with them, it's like, oh, lead flow and lead quality. Those are two main things that I see. Now I'm gonna show you what we do on a daily basis to fix that issue for good. And just to give you, well, a quick heads up, this is not gonna be like, oh, quick tips, like simple things. No, I'm not about that. I'm about making you as capable as possible so that you actually don't need to hire me in the future. Now, how do you go about doing that, actually? Now, lead quality, the first and the most important thing to do in the first place is identifying the problem, because lead quality is like a term that doesn't really mean anything, right? When you think about it, it's like lead quality. Define lead quality. You probably can't, right? So first we gotta define what lead quality is. So lead quality is going to be a problem because let's say the leads were shit, but they were buying, right? You wouldn't really care. They were buying and they were staying for a long time. Actually, those are not, well, bad leads. So we could define high quality as people that actually come and buy, right? Now, when you take a look at it, it's basically, okay, are they gonna be following a process that is likely for them to generate at the end of the process a sale? Got you. So we have this process, we have the sale after that, and at the beginning they don't know us. They're just like who is this? Like, who is this person? I don't even know this gym. And then they actually buy at the end. So we'd qualify lead. A lead would be qualified if they would be going through this process and actually buy from you and stay with you for a long time, right? So first and foremost, that's the most important thing to understand, is that when you take a look at it that way, then, my friend, lead quality is even more complex to understand, because from going from here to here, there are a lot of steps, a lot of sub-steps that needs to be done for a person to convert, right? So now, that's exactly how you are able to diagnose where the lead quality issue is coming from. Number two is you got to identify the area of problems, which we call the bottleneck. So what is a bottleneck? Not to give you too much of a business whatever lesson, which I'm not here to do so of that, but basically imagine this was a pipe. All right, you have big pipe right here, then you have a smaller pipe right here, and then you have an even smaller pipe right here, and it just keeps going and going. But just for this example's sake, you get the idea. Let's imagine there is this pipe and there is water going through this pipe. Now, in this instance, let's say all of this was filled with water, but after that, it's, nature of a funnel, because each and every single step is only made to filter out the bad leads in the previous step. Each and every single time, the flow is going to get lower and lower as you advance in this funnel. But what you got to see, and you got to be really aware about that, is seeing if there is one of those steps that is blocked. Let's say, for example, on this one, there is all these steps that can be improved, but the throughput that you're going to get at the end, which is literally what we call it, the throughput, is only going to be, worse, because you don't have all this capacity you can use that you can put more flow into. Now, what you got to be aware of in that instance is finding where the bottleneck is. And let me tell you, I'm going to give you different examples so you can get an idea. For example, let's say we find that, okay, we get enough leads coming through the doors, the leads are coming in, but they don't buy. And they get, you see a very common objection. A lot of them say they don't have the money. All right, cool. Then you know what to do, because in that instance, you can be doing some tons of other things, but you only technically need to be doing an additional filter step to find a balance between quality and quantity at an earlier step, when we're going to be doing money qualifying, right? That you can be doing it on the phone, you can be doing it at the ad level. I'll recommend on the phone because then you can get a lot more leads, and sometimes, life changes or whatever. It may be not a good time now, but maybe in the future. And it's always good to have a big database. As much as you can gather at the earlier steps, the better, So in that instance, if it's a money qualifying issue, okay, got you. Well, we're going to be handling that. But another different problem that people typically label as lead quality too, also at the same step, funny enough, most of them, they just don't know how to handle objection. Most gym owners or more basically salespeople that may be working for you, they just are not trained enough, and they don't know how to handle objection. If they were too good at handling those objections, then it's not, you don't have to change anything out in your ads or anything. It's just a get better at objection handling, and then you fix the issue. It's not a problem of lead quality. Oftentimes that's really the case when you get people through the doors. But then let's say, they are trained and they close like magic all the time. Not always referrals only, but all the time when you used to be running ads. And for some reasons you change something and then the lead quality changes. Now this is something that you need to fix earlier in the ad. But most of the times, they just are not good enough trained at sales. That's really what happens. Now, let's pick another example. So we got the sales example. I'm going to give you a few examples. So we got sales at the sales stage, which is going to be right here. Then what can you have? You can have, so then what else? You can have show-ups. You have, let's say, a lot of appointments, but not a lot of them show up. Again, it might be an issue with your show-up process, which is kind of shit. That can be a possibility, but let's say everything is like dialed in. Maybe in that instance, you just simply need to fix up your appointment reminder process. Maybe give them a call when they schedule a time and the day of the appointment. Make sure your reminder process looks organic, that you use some reciprocity in there. That way you're going to increase the sharp rate. Another time it can be a problem. Again, all of those are lead quality issues, guys. So really be aware of which one it is. It's going to be a whole different story to fix. Then you've got the appointment booking rate, which I'm going to sum up by ABR, which is the same thing. So how many leads, the ratio from leads to appointments, like what's the ratio? Is it good or is it bad? Well, in that instance, might be that two things. Number one, are you calling those guys enough? Are you following up on them enough? Are you having a follow-up sequence that is organic, that doesn't look like it's a bot following up with them? That really impacts a lot of things already. Again, another lead quality issue. You just have to have a better process. Or in that instance, if we do get on the phone with them and we have a proper sequence, and we see that a lot of people, for example, typical situation here, they don't remember to filling up ads when you're using Facebook lead form. That happens a lot when people don't remember filling up the info on the ads. I'm going to go dive deep into actually this one, because this is one that I can go dive deeper into and show you how you go about a specific example solving it. But yeah, let's say a lot of those guys don't remember that they fill out something on the ad. Then how do you solve the problem? I'm going to show you how. Because then there is, again, no right answers. There are just ways to test and see what is the best solution for you guys. So let's say you get a lot of leads. You get those guys on the phone, they don't even remember that, not all of them, of course, but some of them don't remember that they went through the ad and clicked the information. That's going to happen, with scale. The more volume you get, the more shit you're going to get with that too. That's really how it goes. But in that instance, there are three ways you can be fixing this. All right. So in that instance, you have three different choices that are in front of you. Now, again, not limited to those, but those are the three that comes to my mind. Let's say you're running a lead form on Facebook. You can try a landing page. Very simple. So you have a landing page, image, headline, button, and a bit of social proof in there and potential objection in the link if you see necessary for the objections they may have. You can put that in there. So that's option number one. Option number two, you have, instead of doing a more volume lead form, you can be doing a high intent lead form, which I'm going to sum up by HI. All right, high intent. This is a lead form with a bit more friction. That way you're going to be getting people that's actually a bit more aware that are filling up the information. You're going to get less volume again, but this is another option. And then you get option number three, which is, good. You keep doing with a more volume approach, and you got to do more qualifying on the phone. You got to go through you got to be basically with just having a bit more shit to sit through. But how do you choose between each and every one of those guys? Really simple. You take a look at those three and you see which one in the end gives you the most, show-ups and the most sales. Because let's say you're cool, I did a landing page, I'm getting quality leads and all that. And you're like, oh, yes, I have a lot of quality leads. Good. But let's say if you take a look at compared to your previous campaigns, where you had to do more work, but you were getting, in the end, even if you had to sit through a lot more leads and a lot more bad leads, the volume was it was bigger, then the difference was actually, in the end, you made more money with this strategy. All right. So that's why you really have to be aware of that. This is just a game of testing things. Once you test enough different things, you can see, maybe you get a lot of volume with this landing page and you get a lot of quality too. keep going. Don't stop. But the thing is, when you take a look at a specific problem, that's where I want to really educate you guys on this channel, is that it's not like, oh, I don't have enough clients, the problem. It is my lead quality, basically the leads don't book. Let's just implement one of those 3 steps. Test which one works best. Make sure that when we try to switch, we make sure we just squeeze as much as possible at this one, and we know, based on our current testing right now, we're not going to be able to make it work. Let's just try something else. There's no like big problems. It's only combination of a lot of little ones. All right. Hope this video helped you. If you like it, give us a sub, give us a like. I would appreciate it. If you want to buy from us or having a chat with me on how we can help you do that, there's a link in the description. If you don't want to click it, I don't want you to do whatever you want. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye bye.